for at over and under absorption. Before the year starts, you always have projections of how much you are going to produce, how many hours, and also how much are your overheads. Now, when the job actually starts, sometimes it might come to a point where you have absorbed too much into production, or you have absorbed less into production. Now, I'm not going to the theory anymore because we have already done that the past few classes. I just want us to go straight to the guidelines. If you have a pen, you write down the guidelines, because those are the only basic guidelines that we are going to be using. That's why I say this class won't take long. Within 30 minutes, we should be done. The first guideline is identify the actual overheads. Maybe I must make it as number 1. Identify the actual overhead. And then guideline number 2, we are going to calculate the absorption rate. The absorption rate, we know how to calculate. It was even in the quiz now. The third thing is we are going to multiply absorption rate that we calculated from 1 multiplied by the actual level. Now, this actual level is either hours, actual hours, or actual units. And then the fourth thing, we are going to compare the actual overheads versus the overheads absorbed. Let me write it the other way around. We are going to compare the overhead absorbed. I'm just writing it up the other way around. OA basis actual overheads. AO. Just like that. Those are the only 4 guidelines that you need to know when you get to the question. Now, how do we get to that? Number 1, you write down here. You make a table, something like that, and then you put your amount. That this is your actual, but you are now going to put an amount. You are not going to put a word. Actual overhead. This is going to be your number 1. Then your number 2, question, because number 2, we are going to calculate the absorption rate. To calculate the absorption rate, we must say factory overheads, and then the factory overheads, we should divide factory overheads. We should now divide the factory overheads with the activity level. Now, these activity levels in our syllabus, there are 3. You are either going to divide with machine. Let me use this word that it's budgeted. Budgeted. Budgeted factory overheads divided by budgeted machine hours. If the question is talking about machine hours, you divide with machine hours. If a question is talking about labor, you say budgeted factory overheads. Factory overheads is always the one on top. And then you are going to divide it with budgeted labor hours. And then the other incidents that you are going to find is when it's talking about units, then it's budgeted, factory, overheads, which you are going to divide with the number of units. Budgeted again, budgeted production in units. I hope you have gotten that one. This is number one, where you just find out how much is my actual overheads. It's the first thing. And then the second thing, you must now calculate your absorption rate, which is number two. Number three, you are now going to calculate what we call overhead absorbed. Now, for us to calculate the overhead absorbed, it's the same that we are doing when we are doing a job cost statement. And how do we do it when we do a job cost statement? We take our absorption rate and we multiply it with the actual, either actual hours or actual units, depending on what the question is giving you. Now, once you do number one, number two, and number three, then the answer that you are going to get here, you are going to get an answer here. You'll get an answer here, which is an overhead absorbed. And you are going to compare it with your actual overheads. Depending on which one is big or which one is small, you can now find whether you have under absorbed or you have over absorbed. Before I move on, is there any question on those things? Because these are the guidelines. Is there any question on the guidelines before we move to the exercises?
No, sir.
All right, perfect. Now, who can, okay, this one, how will we know that it's under absorbed? Who can tell me this one? Under absorbed. When does under absorbed comes in? Just don't know if I wrote this correct. Under absorbed, I'm going to put up two things here. There is the overhead absorbed, and I'm also going to put up the actual overheads. So here we have overhead absorbed, and here we usually have actual overheads. Now, overhead absorbed, this one. Now, this one is going to be given to you in the question. This one is going to be calculated. Now, if we get a situation that is like, where is this sign now? I can't find the sign. I'll just put it on manually. If we get this situation where this is like this, is that under or is it over?
Over
So,
absorbed.
Over
this one
absorbed.
is over absorption. Over absorbed. If you find a situation that is like that, then it's over absorbed. And then, I don't know why I have this one. This one, let me remove it. Sometimes you will get the situation that is vice versa. Situation that is vice versa, and here you have over absorption, overhead absorbed. And then here you have your actual overheads. And then the situation that you have is your actual is bigger than you have a situation like this. So this one, if the other one is over absorbed, this one is going to be under absorbed. Yeah, under absorbed. Now you said you understand the guidelines. You said you know the difference between when is it over and when is it under. Now we go to the questions and then we are done with our classes for the day. If there's any question, you unmute your mic and you ask that time. It's a continuation of the other questions, but I tried to give all the information. Number one, the first thing that you need to do, Milere Bags manufactures custom tote bags for the events. Budgeted information for March is 2025 is here. There is budgeted overheads and then there's budgeted direct labor hours, 1,200. Actual information for March 2025. These are the actual information. Number one, what are we supposed to do? Someone.
Identify the actual overhead.
Good. We are going to identify the actual overheads and we got them as 129. Perfect. Secondly, someone, what must we do? Actually, I must not go to the question. Let me just do it here. Secondly, what must we do?
You calculate the absorption rate.
Perfect. Can we calculate the absorption rate quickly?
Absorption.
110.
110.
110 per labor hour.
110 per hour. You can put per labor hour or per hour, it's fine. That's number two. We come to number three. What are we supposed to do at number three?
We are supposed to calculate our overheads absorbed.
Okay. Now we are supposed to calculate our overheads absorbed. Can you give me the answer of our overhead absorbed?
121,000.
121,000. Now that we have calculated our overhead absorbed, is 121. What are we going to do next?
We compare the overhead absorbed.
Okay, we are now going to compare. And when we compare, we can see that the overhead absorbed is smaller than the actual overheads. What happens in that case?
Under absorption.
Under absorption.
So we agree it's under absorption.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
All right. So this question is done. So this is under absorption. Now we go to the next question. Yes.
So when we get our answer and then we state that it's under absorbed, do we give a reason to why this is the case?
It depends on the number of marks that are there. Now, what I have here, I've broken down all the calculations step by step. Question one is just for you to get the absorption rate. Question two is for you to get the amount of overhead absorbed, the 121. Question three is to calculate the over or the under where you are comparing. And then question four is where you are commenting on the variance. The variance is now that difference that you are getting. Now, in the exam, you are not going to get all of them from A to D. It will just be one question. Calculate and comment on the absorption using the above information. That means you must do A, B, C, and D yourself. Now, the number of marks that are there, if they say analyze, then it means you must also comment. If they only say calculate, then you are only going to end at C. But if they say calculate and comment, or calculate and analyze, or if they just say analyze, then it means you must also give the comments. Where you go to those reasons for absorption, I think they are around 6 or 7. You pick one, or you can pick 2, but I think 1 will be enough. You pick 1 and you also put it next to your answer. Just make sure that it links to whether it's under or over.
Okay, 100%. Thank you, sir.
All right. Can we quickly do this? I just need you quickly calculate it, and then you are just going to tell me whether it's under or over. We are not doing it together. You just tell me whether it's under or
over absorption.
You are done already. Let's give a few more minutes for everyone to finish.
So it's under absorption.
Under absorption.
Under absorption. Under absorption, sir.
All right. So you are saying it's under absorption. Under absorbed. What is the amount?
24,000.
24,000. Did we all get 24,000?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right. So all of us have gotten under absorption of 24,000. Okay, I'm very happy. We move to the next question. These things, I just broke it down so that it's easier for you to understand. Yes.
So
Yes.
to determine whether it's over or under absorbed, you should find the difference between the actual overhead and the overhead absorbed.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
That's how we are going to find the difference, the 24,000. I believe this is what they did. All right. Like I said, it's just going to be one question. It's not going to be broken down like I broke it down here. You just have to do all the steps in one calculation. Now we go to the next one. Can we quickly do that? Then you tell me whether it's over or it's under.
It's over, sir.
Over.
Over
So it's over
absorption.
Over absorption.
Those ones that are
Absorption.
calculating, you just continue calculating. Even if someone gives the answer, just continue calculating. It's over with
5,500.
5,500.
okay, 5,500. That's perfect. Now, this question, I'm sure you remember it. I'm sure you remember this question. And most of you got 8,600. Some of you got amounts, I don't know how you got them. But I hope you were able to check the correction and see where you went wrong. Now here, we are now going to do, maybe here we can do it step by step. Is it step by step? No, just do it per department. You do the one for cutting and you do the one for finishing. I'll give you 5 minutes. We are still just going to, here the calculations are broken down step by step, but just give me the one for cutting, is it under or over? The one for finishing, is it under or over?
So is it for cutting and stitching?
So I got both under absorption.
Same here.
Same here.
Yes, we are both under.
Same here.
Here too, sir.
Same here also. Both are under absorbed.
Okay, we all got under absorbed. Can I get the amount?
That's one
For
by
cutting
four.
and
Cutting is
4,000.
4,000 and for
cutting
4,000.
4,000. And
Yes.
finishing is
Package
2,000.
2,000.
2,000.
2,000. So perfect, and we are done. Now, if I run this poll again after this class, I'm going to get again over 50 people saying they don't understand, isn't it?
No,
No,
sir.
sir.
No,
So now we
No,
understand
sir.
this one.
No, so
Over and under absorption, now we understand it.
Yes,
Okay, so what we did here, we have done all the 4 exercises. This one, it was just broken down, but it's already what we did. I'm going to share with you this this PDF on the group. I'm going to, I think I might just share it even including these things as it is. I don't know if it will be possible, but make it PDF. Okay. I'll share it with all these things at the beginning also. The video will be on YouTube in the next 10 minutes. The results will be on. Do you know who was the highest? Were you told?
No, sir.
Okay, let me check here.
So I think is it not Frodin?
Yeah, Frodin was leading for some time, and then later on she became number 3.
I think the highest
So,
was
Dallas.
Marcus Tillers.
Yeah, Dallas, and then it's Chikongo, and then it's Frodin. Okay, I'll post it now in the group. Thank you for everyone that took part. We look forward to May. And I hope this time all of us are going to be on top.
So how many people took part?
They were 61 people that took part.
Yes, sir.
And I just want to tell you to explain something to you. Sometimes you will see someone did not get all the questions correct, but they are number 1, like the one that I shared. What happens is Kahoot is calculating how long did you take to answer some of the question. The faster you answer, the more points you get, because Kahoot will add up all these points. That's why when you were calculating, it was also adding up. I hope you have taken your screenshots, because you need to compare that those points are the same. End of the year, you must be able to add together, to add up all your points and make sure that whatever I'm going to put there is really correct. Then you don't have to say, I think in May I got 10,000. Okay, we are ending our class.